Hi folks, we're just jumping into the product details page. In a previous video, if you haven't watched the catalog video or the video on working with the catalog page, I would recommend you go watch that first because it's going to include some information about updating the PayPal add to cart button, as well as the best use of this page, especially if you're going to be using it for your products. You'll probably need to create multiple versions of it, one for each product. So with that said and done, what I'll do is I'll just quickly jump in Dreamweaver and show you a couple things you can do, especially with getting the tabs down here, getting this component updated. So with that said, this particular image here, that's just a regular thumb image. Let's just double click on it. The image size is 640 by 480. I'm just going to drag in and replace an image, drop it, and it's already selected. Click OK, boom. So that's how to update the picture. Nice and easy. Create the picture at the default size and then just drag and drop it like I showed you. The next is the PayPal button here. I'm just going to select the little buttony widget in the page, flip over to code view, and here is the PayPal button form that you'll be replacing with the new button that you create on the PayPal button wizard site. So that's where you would change the button right there. And now let's jump into the details tab right here. This is the fun one, because what we have is we have three tabs: tab 1, tab 2, tab 3, and really it's all set up for you. You just need to go in and change the information in here, but you can add more tabs if you want to. I'll show you how to do that as well. But basically what you'll be doing is updating the description. For additional information, we just have some rows in here with whatever information you want to put in for this particular product. Then we have the reviews. Now in the reviews we have different div containers with a thumbnail, and then down below we have a form that you would update, and the video for the form, or so the information for the form, I have a separate video on where to go to supersubmit.co and get that set up if you want to do that as well. But this is just a little form to help you gather some information from your visitors if you want to get some reviews and have it posted on the site. You'll have to do that manually once you get the information. You'll have to if you need a picture from the visitor, you'll have to request that from them in email, because there is no form upload option here. It's just a simple tool. Get the information, ask them if they want their picture posted, or a link to their website, or whatever sort of communication you would have with your visitors. It's pretty simple and straightforward, but it does work in a pinch. So with that said, let's pop into Dreamweaver, and I'm going to right click and open library item. Up top right here it says description, additional information, and reviews. That is the tab names: description, additional information, and reviews. You can just go right ahead and change the names of your tabs right there if you want to. Then we have tab 1 content, and I'm going to do the Control Shift and I, or Command Shift I, so I get a clear understanding of what information is here. For the first bit of content, it says right here tab 1 content. It's this paragraph here you'll be changing. This here does not actually display in your web page. It's only visible in your library page, where it says tab 1, 2, 3 and tab 1 content, tab 2 content, tab 3 content. You won't see that. Either will you see the comment 1, comment 2, or comment 3. Those bits of information are only reserved for the library page, just so you know. So for the content for your first tab, that's where you would change it, just regular paragraph or regular text. Then down here we have size, color, and material. You can change the text there and the description of that right here in the page. And then of course we have the image, the member name, the 5 out of 5, and their comment right here. And you can sort of use the information, look at your web browser, use the information you see here to compare it to what's actually being displayed on the library page if you're not sure what goes where. Right? So you can go ahead and make any changes there. What I have here is, if you want to change the picture for your individual, just double click on it. The pictures we're using it's 150 by 150. So you can just drag a new image in here. It's automatically selected. Click OK, and boom. The image for your person is already done. If you want to add more comments, and hopefully you will, this is where I suggest you flip into the code view. So we're going to flip into code view, and guess what? Each comment section is commented for you. So we have comment 1 right there, comment 2 right there, and comment 3 right here. You want to add more comments? Well, go down to comment 3, copy it, copy this whole thing, give yourself some space after that closing comment tag right there, and paste. And then I would right off the bat change this to comment 4, and then I would right after comment 4 keep pasting these copies of the original and renaming, right? And then you can just flip right back in the design window and update the the image, the member name, the 5 out of 5. I'd also probably update this right here. That's comment 5, this is comment 4, and comment 3, and away we go. Now earlier, that's really all you need to do. If you want to update something in the content tab 2 where it says size, color, material, aside from just changing the words, it's just a table. Yeah, I know, tables, but we're actually using the table for what it's specifically designed for. You see that? We're using the alternate colors, right? Well, this is kind of what they were designed for. It's to display tabular information, which is exactly what it does. It's not being used for the overall design of the page. It's being used in its proper format. So thumbs up to us for doing a good job and putting that in there. Yay. I'm sorry about that. But the tables in Bootstrap do a very good job of separating the different colors out like this and keeping it nice and organized in your page. If you want to add more, right? See, we have the table class here, table striped, push top. There's a table row, table row, table row. You'll just want to copy and paste the table row, right? So let's see if I can double click here to having trouble. So you would copy this entire tr, th size all the way down to the tr, and you just pop that in like so. And once again, find the closing, and this is where it gets a little HTML-y, if you want to call it that. But we'll just save to update, and I can show you, right, if you need to add more table rows, how it was done. We'll save the page here. We'll refresh. And here we go, size, size, color, color. So now we've added some more, and you can go back in and you can change that if you want to in the details page here. Flip it back over, and there we go. We have one extra row right there with all the bits of information. Okay, the other thing I was going to mention, if you do need another tab, let's say you need a 4th tab for some reason, you may have some creative idea or use for it, you can do that as well. You need to create the tab, then you need to create the container that the tab links to. And this works for any tab component in Bootstrap. So first of all, we go up to the top of our page. There's each tab is commented out, so you can easily identify it, and it's something you will need to do in the code view. So let's just copy the first tab right here. Oops, I'll just do the whole thing, get the proper thing. I'm going to paste it below or between the first and second tab. Now, that's the first part. If you watched the video on working with the accordion panel, you understand the concept hopefully by now about working with a reference and working with an ID. Let me explain here. Here's our first tab. There's a reference on this tab for description, DESC, that's short for description. If I scroll down to my tab 1 content right here, you'll see there's an ID that matches DESC. Let's go to our third or second tab here, where it's a reference of details. And we always know it's a reference because it says href equals, and then in the quotes there's a pound sign and then the word or the name of the reference. Well, let's scroll down to the tab content 2, and look at this. There's the ID called details. Okay, so with that said, if we're going to add a new tab and more content, what I'm going to do is just where it says description, I'm going to change this to new tab. You can call it whatever you want as long as the reference matches the ID. Right? I'm going to rename this to tab 2, then tab 3, and then tab 4, so it makes sense in my design view. And I need to now copy one of the existing tab contents, and I'm just going to copy the first one. I'm going to make some space between the first and second and paste it, and then I'm going to change the ID here for the description to match the reference up here. So I'm going to copy the new reference that I've typed in. I'm going to go down to my new tab here, so I'm just going to rename this as well to be 2 and 3, and finally I'm just going to rename that to tab 4. Okay, so now I have tab 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? It says description. I'm just going to double click on this and type in new tab, okay, because I can actually do that there. And then it should open up the, let's do with the, change this to new tab content. I'm just changing this in this HTML here so that I know that it's been changed. There we go, done. Product details page needs to be saved because it's got the asterisk, so I'll save it. Go back, I'll refresh. Oh, description, new tab. Oh, additional information and reviews. That works. New tab content, description. So it all works except for when I first load up the page, how come both these tabs are like colored like that? Because the first tab is going to be assigned the active property or the active style, so that looks like it's the first one being displayed. So we need to make one final modification here for this tab we copied, and that is, see the class of active right here for the new tab? Just double click on the word active, hit the backspace on your keyboard to get rid of it, save it, update, close, save the page here, back, refresh, and then there we go, description. Now we click new tab, it shows up, then additional information, and then reviews. Okay, so that's all we have to do. Yeah, a lot of work, eh? But it's kind of cool.